Hello geeks, I'm Gloryhound, and today we're going to be looking at Board Game Bento. Now Board Game Bento is a box subscription service, so what you do is you pay a monthly fee and you get a surprise box full of goodies. This particular one is for board games only. There's plenty of other box subscription services. And the reason why I haven't subscribed to Board Game Bento in the past is just for the fact that I have so many board games at home. It was almost like rolling the dice to see if I was going to get something that I already own. And so it made me a little apprehensive. But this month's theme was the past. So let's open it and find out what's in here. We got one of these things here that's going to talk to you about the games. We don't need that though. We got some fluff. We don't need any of that. And it looks like our first game here is High Noon Saloon. It's a Slugfest game. And Slugfest game is the same people who do Red Dragon Inn. We're going to take a quick look inside the box here. This is actually a game I do not own. So far I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm pretty happy with Slugfest games too. Like, the go-to game for parties for our gaming group is Red Dragon Inn. Oh, that's a cute little board. So let's see here, we got a little board, some information, we got some little character sheet things, some character mats, and a deck of cards, pretty much. I haven't actually played this game before. This will be an interesting one to do. Now, for this box subscription service, I paid like, I want to say with shipping and everything, it was a little over 60 bucks. So I'm hoping that these games here will definitely equal at least $60. So at least get my money. They did say they were going to have a Mensa Select game, and I believe this one's probably it. Yep, this is the Mensa Select game winner. Now, World's Fair is a really good game. This one is made by, what is it, Renegade Games and, yeah, Foxtrot. And they make Lotus and they make Lanterns, which are two games I absolutely love. And you can't really go wrong with, like, a Mensa Select game, at least not for myself. I enjoy games that are a little bit complex in, you know, thought. Or at least have some depth to them. Wow, this is going to be like the fastest I've ever opened a bunch of games before. Like usually it's one game, but 3 games in a row. What do we got here? Lots and lots of boards with tokens. This is a nice game. Ooh, I'm super excited about this one. There's no game board though? How do you play this game? This one seems to be much more substantial. Oh, it looks like you do cards and stuff like that, and bits. That should be a really good game though. I've heard a lot of really good stuff about it. I think this is probably one of the ones that I would actually look at getting on my own. I just haven't gotten it yet. And I think this is a newer game. This one has to be a newer game. For sure. And we have our final game in here. Get that big box out of the way. It is the Manhattan Project Chain Reaction. Now, I thought Manhattan Project was like a much larger game, but I don't think this is an expansion. think this is still a separate game. You have a pretty substantial deck of cards in here. But I'm wondering what the cost of that would be. Because for me, like, overall, I love the idea of the bento box. But again, you know, 2 reasons why I haven't gotten it is, A, you know, I don't want more of the same games that I have. If I'm going to spend $60, I want it to be games that I want to play. And games that I don't own. But with looking at these games here, like, if you're looking to get into board games and you don't know a whole lot about it, I would say that these are probably 3 really good games. This is a really good one for sure. I've heard lots of good about this one, and I just haven't heard much about this one before. But, let's see here. This one's 2 to 6 players. That one's 1 to 5. I bet this is 1 to 4, or 2 to 4. Yeah, 2 to 4 on that one. Okay, so I went ahead and took a moment to look up all of the games here on Board Game Geek and Amazon, just to kind of see price-wise where everything was at. We have High Noon Saloon, which on Board Game Geek scored a 6.4, which isn't a bad scoring. It's pretty neutral, you know, you're probably going to like the game if you like those type of games. And this on Amazon you can get for about $22. That's about a $22 game. The tokens in this are definitely a lot thinner than the tokens in this one here. World's Fair. This one scored a 7.5 on Board Game Geek, which is a great score. So this is a really good game. And on Amazon, you can get this game for $23. So about $22 a game, $23 a game. And then this one here scored a 7 on Board Game Geek, and it is a separate game. The actual Manhattan Project game is like a $40, $50 game, but this one's much less expensive. This is like 15 bucks. So overall, between the 3 of them, you're definitely getting about $60 worth of games. So for like my final reaction on it, if you have a ton of board games at home, I probably don't recommend the subscription service because, one, you don't know what you're going to get, and you don't know if you're going to get any of the same copies of anything. But if you are just getting in the board games, this is actually a really great setup because you're delivered games once a month, and from these particular choices right here, these are excellent games. Like, I would play all of these. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this. Thank you so much. And go ahead and look me up on Twitter at gloryhound.com. And you guys have a great time gaming. Bye.